Welcome to Krastorio2. While waiting for X4 Split Vendetta to come out, I thought we'd check out a new mod that's just come out for Factorio. Complete overhaul. Everything pretty much, well, it's sort of vanilla-ish, but there's a lot of stuff changed, a lot of post-rocket stuff, and lots of good stuff to actually have a look at. So why don't we get started with that, and yeah, while I wait for Split Vendetta. I did actually log in. I was going to actually bring you an episode of X4 before Split Vendetta came out, but my main save game is still broken. The story is just completely horribly broken, and I don't know how I managed to break it, but it's broken. So we're going to need to use one of the new Split Vendetta game starts, I imagine, when it comes out. Anyway, before we get to that, let's actually get to Krastorio and talk about this. So it is a mod pack, or a single mod if you like, for Factorio 0.18. That's experimental. So if you've got Factorio on Steam, right click it, go to properties, betas, and then latest 0.18 experimental, and then you'll be able to install this mod in the in-game mod portal. So we're going to start a new game. It's going to default to free play, and this is all new user interface from 0.18, I think. It's been a while since I looked at the new game interface. And, well, we can take a look, I guess, at where we want to restart that. So I'm just going to keep choosing a random seed. I'd like something that isn't desert, please. Isn't desert. Getting there. Oh, that's better. Okay, nice and green. While I've been doing C block, which is of course very, very different. This has got some patches of iron, copper, and coal, and some water to get us started. That'll be fine by me. I'm not going to turn anything off because this is, after all, a complete overhaul. So I don't know what has actually changed as far as biters are concerned. You can see that some biters are there and then outside. So we're just going to get started with all the default settings, and well, we'll see what we get to. And tips and tricks, yeah, the usual kind of thing. Let's get that out of the way. Welcome back to Krastorio. This mod is developing thanks to our subscribers. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, people on, no doubt, Patreon or something like that to get that started. So that's fine. I guess we're going to be picking stuff up from the start and then getting going. So the first thing I want to point you towards is the in-game Mini Wiki up at the top left. Lots of different categories for new stuff that's actually in the game. In particular, shelters, so respawn points, basically, new gunplay, new metals, and that's all in one giant clump. Apparently there is no separate, like, Bobmonium, stuff like that. For Bob's mods, it is just in one place, and you're going to extract all the stuff from it. You can harvest stuff from biters, all kinds of other bits and pieces, all new stuff. But in any case, we have bits and pieces over here, so I guess we can go and pick them up. Yeah, it says if the building is deconstructed, it will give back some raw materials, but can't be rebuilt. So I'm not touching the ones that say power at the moment. Normally in a modded game like this, you will end up with this being something that you actually pick up to get the materials back. But in our case, I think I'm just going to pick up the stuff from the chests, and that hopefully should give us enough stuff to actually get started. Is there anything in any of these? Are these just shipwrecks? Yeah, we can just pick them back up. I can't imagine there'll be anything to do with those. One iron plate. Okay, it's not even worthwhile me going picking those up. Is there anything else out and around? Yeah, there's some more chests out here, and that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so these are assemblers. Fine. So let's get ourselves started. You'll see there's iron and copper over here. I'm going to skip through the usual stuff. We're going to set up some burner, well, I say burner mining drills. Ooh, that's Bobs and Angels. Just set up a mining drill and see if we can get started. No, it is burner mining drill. Yeah, I'm not going mad. Anyway, let's get started. As normal for Factorio, you're going to put down yourself one burner mining drill on top of stone. That'll get you some stone to get running. You're going to make some more burner mining drills. Let's just make, I don't know, a few of those. And a few of the furnaces. I'm going to put down two burner mining drills pointing to each other on top of coal. That'll get us some coal to get started. I've only installed two other mods other than Krastorio itself. One is the longer reach mod, and the other one is even distribution. Both of which are very, very handy sort of quality of life things. In any case, I'm just going to do this quick upgrade here. And everyone who's played Factorio before will know exactly what I'm going to do. And that just basically creates a loop that has a much larger inventory of coal, and it's self-sustaining. We don't need to do anything other than that. Just pop back to it occasionally. Over here, you'll see I've put down some furnaces. Either it's changed in vanilla or that things have changed a little bit in this mod. But if I put down, let's say, for example, for furnaces here, I can then select my recipes in here, including rare metals. But in this case, I can choose specifically presumably only to accept copper ore, which means, obviously, if I just paste these along, basically then I can just not worry about, I can have a mixed belt if I want to, and it'll just pull off the right things into the furnaces. However, we're not there just yet. We just need to pick up some more metal and get started on the copper, and then we'll be ready for our first ingredients. So you can see over here, for example, labs, it needs copper cable, but iron beams. Okay, so a new sort of intermediary ingredient here. Iron beams here, just iron plates. So we know we can just make one thing from the other. That's not a problem either. So we're able to get a lab up and running. And yes, the gunplate is new, so we'll go on to take a look at that in a little while. But for the moment, let's start out with, I want to say we're also going to need to make some of these. We're going to need wood and we're going to need copper cable to make basic tech cards. Tech cards are basically science packs. Okay, so this is the equivalent of red science, but it's just like the, when I say tech card, it's a piece of wood and some copper. It's not some kind of magical high-tech stuff at this particular point in the game. So I'm just going to get a few things sorted, and I'll bring you back once they are. Just basically get some more copper sorted out. I should also note this shelter gets given to you. You can put it wherever you like. For the moment, I've put it down here. It is a giant inventory. You can put whatever you like in there. Just very useful. And of course, this is where you're going to respawn. It does warn you that you can only have one of these per team, per map, stuff like that. So yeah, you're only going to want one of them, but it's a nice handy inclusion there. And they should also be giving us copper sometime soon. Yeah, copper should already be there, so we just grab them. Yes, one thing, I guess, if you haven't used Eden Distribution before, what it actually does, let me just go and grab the coal from here. I didn't need to run over, I've got long reach mod. Let's say I've grabbed these. If I hold down my control key, left click and drag and hold, you'll see it tells you exactly how many it's going to put in each one, and as soon as you basically let go or move off the final one, it's going to actually evenly distribute, as you might imagine from the name of the mod, into all of your machines. So that's pretty good to get us started. And the same thing is up and running there. We're probably going to need much more iron to get us started than we are going to need copper. Well, unless it's been rebalanced, that is a good point. That is a possibility in the game. And our first biters are right there, so they're not terribly far away from us as far as that's concerned. We've got some uranium, we've got some... Ooh, immersite. Interesting. I thought that was going to be oil. Nope. Okay. We're going to have to take a look at that when that comes about. Anyway, off to get a few more resources, and then we're ready to start construction. In fact, I should be able to make a lab now. Yeah. Let's just make one lab now, and we should be able to make some tech cards. Yeah, although I don't have that much wood. I want to be very, very careful about the wood unless I find another source. Is that going to be wood over there? It looks like it is. Yeah, we're going to be fine, I think. There is at least some trees for us to go and get more. Now, since we don't currently have any way whatsoever to power anything, we don't have any kind of wind-up labs or steam labs or anything. I don't see any... Oh, hang on, we have wind turbines. I'm just wondering whether we're going to be able to get power from this damaged ship reactor or not. If not, then oh well. But we may as well go and give it a try and see. Let me just actually clear that out. So I've got some power poles. And is that enough? Yeah. Okay, so that is actually outputting power, and if I put that stuff in there, that could be our first lab. We do have another lab here that I've made. That is that anything? Small shipwreck. Let's pick it up. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to need to select that there so I can grab them. Okay, so now we pretty much have... Let's grab 10 cards from there, 10 cards here, and now we can select our first research. So I have the iron pickaxe, increases the player's mining speed from 0.5 to 0.75. Good, I guess. Needs 25 lots. Automation core is probably what I want first. Creating the automation core, thing designed by an insane mind to imbue a lifeless metal with the power of mechanical engineering. used for building basic automatic machinery. So yeah, we're going to go for that. That's only 20, so we should have more than enough for that. And here you can see everything's coming. So how are we doing? Ooh, this is a new screen, at least for I was used to 0.17. So yeah, we'll be fine. I'll go and take a look at that again later. And you can see our progress going up at the top right there. Assembler. So I guess we can go and just grab that and tie that into the power network. Yep. And now this will let me build stuff without actually having to handcraft it. Fine. But we don't have any, well, we can get stuff across there. I guess we've got burner inserters. We don't have electrical inserters yet, so I'm going to get some transport belts sorted. Go and pick up some more iron, some more copper, keep them fueled, and then keep on crafting. Speaking of which, I'm going to use these assemblers wherever I can, basically to get us some sort of capacity for automatic production to get us started. And all I'm going to do for that is very likely have them produce things like pipes or things like belts, stuff like that, like an early mall, but just so I can just drop resources into them as I go by and get some other stuff back out. So unfortunately, however, that will need a inserters, and we don't really have any good ones or good options for that yet, so it's fine for the moment. If we just set this as a recipe for belts, ooh, it's going to need gears as well. Okay, so I've set this one for gears. I just can create a little bit of early game stuff there and there, and when that's finished producing, yeah, we can grab them and dump them in here and grab them. We don't even need the boxes. I guess we can build burner inserters, but it's not going to be too terribly good without... I guess I could. I'll make a few, and we'll use that just to automatically decant stuff into that. So let's put it there. Grab ourselves some fuel. And that should automatically work as soon as I dump gears. Yep, it's working. It's very slow, but it'll just carry on working in the background while our automation core finishes. With that research done, next up, we're going to just choose the next one along. This is the crusher recipe, and let's just process stone and other bits and pieces, leads onto optics. So we're going to get that started there, and there is obviously fluid handling popping up now, and also automation tech card and automation itself. So all three of those are going to be stuff we're going to go for. In the meantime, I've run a belt out here from our sort of iron area, and we'll continue to deal with that as the iron comes out. Probably sending them over here. In fact, I'm going to need the automation first, aren't I? Yeah, let's just get the automation started. And then I just need to craft them, at least manually for now. Put them into our labs, and then that will give me the ability to make more of these, basically our assembling machines, and get gears made and get everything redone that way. Automation done, and then we're going to head into set for a crusher, and we'll come back to that later. So now I should be able to make assembly machines, hopefully. Yep. And we'll make a couple of them using those automation cores that we just unlocked previously. So there's some more intermediary products. I'll just cancel the tech cards for now, and that can carry on in the background. So yeah, I'm going to put in a gear making machine here. It's going to direct insert for the moment straight into our damaged ship assembler. It's going to make belt for me to just pick up as I actually go around. And we'll figure out some other stuff as time goes on. I'm going to run another belt coming out of our copper over here. And for the moment, just running along this, maybe this side of our shelter. Yeah, something like that. Okay, that's up and running. I've taken up our secondary lab because it consumes 200 kilowatts. This reactor can only produce like 240 at maximum. So yeah, this is already producing 60. This actually generates pollution, but at the same time, it's actually much more power efficient, at least to get started with. So that's that. Over here, I've created a second array of iron, and that's all being brought across. So both sides of the belt are being filled. I'll do the same thing with copper in a little while, but we'll probably get up to better mining drills before we get to that point. Now I should just get this sorted here. So we're just going to create another inserter, and we're just going to dump in some coal for that. Set this up to make ourselves the packs, wood and copper cable. Yeah. So if I just dump in that's 200 wood, And that's going to start producing the packs, which we can then just dump into a box, or we can fit. Wow, we may as well just send it where it's supposed to go. Although I don't quite like the position of that, but for now, let's just send it this way then. That sounds like Star Trek sound effects. I'm not sure about the license for that, but hey, that's part of the mod. Crusher finished. Press T. Fine, and then stone processing. So we can use that to make sand or glass. Okay, not quite sure what we're going to need those for, but automation tech cards. Let's see what they need. Automation cores and blank tech cards. Blank tech cards are iron and copper. So everything for the red tech card is actually stuff we can already make. So that shouldn't be a problem. Fluid handling, stone processing. Not sure which one we're going to need first. So which one's cheaper? Fluid handling by far. Start that going. And there should be everything there. I think we just need to make sure we have a burner inserter, a little bit more fuel, and that should start feeding tech cards in there automatically as long as I go and chop wood. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be any way of automatically gathering wood, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see when we get there. That Star Trek sound effect was, unfortunately, biters coming in and going for my stuff. So, go away. Go away. Okay, so I now have wrecked stuff. Clearly, they are quite close as far as the game's concerned. So, yeah, I may have to deal with them. But for now, that was only one coming in. I don't think we have any defenses, so I better make sure I have enough coal to make more bullets. I only have a pistol as well. I don't even have like a machine gun. So yeah, biters may well be a problem. So my first stone crusher is done. It takes a minimum of 7.5 kilowatts, maximum 233. That is huge. Yeah, let me just put it down here. What recipes do we have available? Just anything, basically? Or crunch anything in here? Yeah, I guess we can leave that alone for now. Maybe come back to it. We can, in fact, let's just dump in some, well, let's move it somewhere near the power. That may make it a bit better, but let's just put it in here. I'm just wondering whether this leads to concrete some walls in this overhaul mod. So that's got power, and let's dump in some stone. Cannot be modified. You're not going to take stone? Oh, maybe I need stone processing. Yeah. Never mind. Steam engines. Yes, we want more power, please. And that's going to obviously be good. We're going to need power for that from coal into regular kind of usual vanilla stuff. So it's going to be just boilers, isn't it? So let's get that started as well. And then hopefully we can surpass the output of this tiny little damaged ship reactor. And I need to keep an eye out up there. But I've started to print out more, so handcraft more pistol magazines. And that will hopefully keep everything going until I have some defenses like walls and turrets and lasers and whatever we get in this this overhaul. Speaking of energy, we do get the wind turbines as well. As I said at the very bottom, though, produces 20 kilowatts of energy with wind power, a constant, inefficient sort of source of energy. So, well, inefficient maybe in space, but if it's constant, then I'm not too, well, not that concerned. But hey, let's get it started, and let's see whether that actually will do the job. Okay, so that should be pretty good. Oh, no, we're definitely not satisfying everything at the moment. I want to be able to put other labs back, basically, and get this whole research processing much faster. So I'll continue to craft stuff into with turbines at the moment. That's just pretty much just going to need iron and nothing else, which means I can just nab this entire line of iron. And yes, my belt factory won't like it, but then I've got 374 belt. More than enough. Oh, wait, there's 540 belt. More than enough to actually get us started, at least at the start of the game. And let's grab the copper as well so that everything is in my inventory. Plenty of stuff to make. So, yeah, to power a lab full, I'm probably going to need 8 more of these wind turbines, if it is constant power, that is, to keep it going. And that sounds like another... Oh, no, more biters. Oh, many more biters. Let's go and try and fight them off. Go away. Go away. Those are my miners. Well, were my miners. Yep. I'm going to need turrets. Lots of turrets. Or dynamite. You know, whatever you choose to fight them is perfectly fine by me. And, of course, I'm going to need some coal to keep everything nice and powered up there. Oh, it's so much nicer with even distribution. And I could do with be able to pick up... is that just iron ore? Yeah, I can't pick up the biter corpses and do anything with them yet. But I'm sure that'll come later in the game. And our steam engines are ready, so we should be able to just go and make them. Let's get a couple started. To get started, how much are they going to produce? 750 kilowatts. Good. Much better than before, so that's fine. I only need one actual boiler, at least unless it's changed that recipe, so that's going to be fine there. I've got my offshore pumps, so we should be ready to get started with something around here. Yep, there we go. And, oh, that actually needs power. Okay. Okay. Lots of things being changed. Not that I mind. But, yeah, just worthwhile thinking about. And I'm going to bring that pipe work down here somewhere. I should create something that automatically creates pipe for me, but for now, I'll just handcraft it. And then we'll put our usual boiler kind of set up for this. I'm sure you're familiar with this in game, so I'm not going to worry about it too much other than just to maybe put it here. Yeah, and put a couple of steam engines on top of it. We're obviously going to be running coal in this way, and we want a couple of burner one burner inserter, and then just to basically feed in, where is the pipework? There it goes. That'll get it started, and then we can just dump in some coal to get started there. And then just connect everything up as we normally would. So connect it up to the power network. And that should be working. Yep, steam is going in there. And that should be fine. So now, while we don't need the wind power anymore, technically, I'm going to need to feed coal in there. So we're going to have coal onto a belt rather than self-feeding down here. But that's going to be pretty much straightforward as before. Next, let's set research. Why don't we just go for stone processing? I'm interested to... well, we know what that's going to actually produce. What we're actually going to use that for is something else. Let's start with... what does walls need? Walls needs military, so let's get started with that. That'll get me a submachine gun and shotgun. We're going to go for the submachine gun, no doubt. And then into walls. For the time being, however, just to give them something to munch on, you can see up here at the top right, I've just put a whole bunch of belt down for them to start chewing through, so I can run over and save my infrastructure by the time I get here. So yeah, just the feeding fields of automation and belts for them to chew on. Which, being smarter than me, they decided to completely ignore and come for pretty much the things generating pollution. Well, I should have known, but hey, it was worth a try anyway. And I keep rebuilding this one thing, and yeah, I want walls now. Military finished. Okay, walls it is. Start research on that, and then we can come back a little bit later. I need to build more stuff again. Okay, let's just get some bits and pieces. And it's not too bad. Most of it's still okay. They take a little while to destroy the burning mining drills, so I guess that'll be fine. I can just copy and paste that recipe across, and then, you know, just drop in a little bit of coal, and they should be going. Yeah, it's looking a little bit scrappy, but walls is nearly done, and we can get those up and running, and of course I can probably just pick these back up again. And for walls, you're going to need lots of basically stone brick, and they're going to need to be pretty much made from here. And I think what we can probably do is just rearrange this. We want probably 4 of them, or probably something like this, feeding into one furnace. And then we can grab all of our power by coal and choose this as stone brick. That should feed in pretty fast, I would have thought. We can probably just dump in a whole bunch to keep that running, and that's going to start producing stone brick for us. And the same thing we can probably do elsewhere, but for the moment, we need to get stone bricks that way. We need to basically craft walls, and that's the only way to make them. So I'm going to need to make lots and lots of walls. There we are. 5 stone bricks per wall. So yeah, lots of stuff to be done. Has to be said, I go and make lots and lots of walls. I surround my iron, and they immediately go for everything over this side. So yeah, and they run in pretty fast at this particular point. I don't really have any much sort of infrastructure to be able to repair stuff yet. So I am sort of fighting fires. That is probably a good point to leave the episode while I've got other things on the go I don't get anything from there. That's all been destroyed. Well, so yeah, we are on the cusp of actually getting decent power. Well, we have power, but on the... I wasn't going to say power. On the decent sort of infrastructure, I wanted to get myself some light armor first, but the next step after this is to get into automation tech card. That'll then lead on to turrets. So we go for turrets. It is here. So to get that up and running, we need automation tech card, and the turrets themselves need some of those cards to be able to make them, and that will end up letting me to be able to hopefully survive a little longer. So I just have a bank of stone furnaces in here, all the stone that's been produced from those. I have multiple burner mining drills. I'd definitely suggest having many burner mining drills down there producing stone at the start of the game. Let's just grab it from here. Further down, you'll see not only do I have this one that's just feeding one furnace, I have these 4 down here feeding one box full of stone. So I can just go and make more walls this way, and hopefully at some point stop them from charging my infrastructure and have them at least fight some of the walls. We'll see about that very shortly. Anyway, let's just get more walls produced. How many do I can make? 57. Okay, so they are pretty fast to actually make, so that's not too much of an issue. But I am going to need to surround a lot of my infrastructure, at least for the moment, and sort of wall it off as best I can. Give me a bit of a fighting chance. The submachine gun is excellent, by the way, so that's not much of a problem. It's just everything else. Okay, there. I want to get that back again. And burner inserters in the way. Yeah, there he goes. So I just want gears again. Okay, and that should be everything. In fact, yeah, I didn't lose anything because I turned this off, so I wanted to basically gather more iron plates, and I didn't have to worry about it other than that. So that's all going into my inventory for now, and then I'll continue crafting more walls. And there's our light armor, so we should be able to make that light armor. Yep, that should automatically equip. And that means I'm going to take automation tech cards. Start producing. That's going to take 50. So just take a little while. I may need to go and chop wood at some point. Now we've got more than enough there. That's not a problem. I'm just going to surround this with yet more walls. And hopefully keep everything at least as safe as I can for the moment. So let's bring this first episode down to a close. Me being besieged by biters immediately, it seems, on starting a new base. And let me know what you think down in the comments down below. Of course, we're going to be starting on to an X4 playthrough, so I'm not sure if I want to start a new playthrough of Factorio just yet, but yeah, we'll see. See what you guys actually think anyway. Otherwise, as always, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time, hopefully, for some more Krastorio, or whatever you want to call this. Thanks a lot for watching.